Something that has been made a big deal about, that is 100% not a big deal. Not a big deal. Dude, coaches have been and others have been hopping on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, making this JuCo issue because the NCAA just passed I'll call it the Diego Pavia rule. The NCAA is fighting it, but they're allowing it just for this season. And they're fighting the injunction that got put in place in court, the Diego Pavia rule, where if you went to JuCo, those years do not count against your FBS eligibility. And you've had coaches, oh, you're going to have 29, 30-year-olds playing and this and that, and coaches are going to stash players in JuCo. This is the biggest crock of you-know-what that I've heard. Ralph, at no point in time is it going to be a mass issue about schools trying to stick players in JuCo? Might they try to put players in JuCo that are academically ineligible to get into their university and say, all right, cool, you can take these classes and we'll get it fixed, right? But they already have people to do that kind of stuff. So why would that even be an issue anyway? And as a parent, listen, I know that what JuCo is. First of all, JuCo is being phased out in a lot of places anyway.
Yeah.
So there aren't a ton of teams. And where like when you see the living conditions and the financial conditions that JuCo players are in, you mean to tell me that kids are going to be like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, I'll go to East Mississippi Community College instead of going to Marshall because Auburn wants to stick me in there for a year? Man, hell to the no. And what is the purpose of and if you're a parent, you're going to be like, hold up. You don't have 85 scholarships. You have 105 scholarships now. Either put my kid on scholarship and he goes there, or there ain't nothing to talk about. Then the other part that you have to think about, Ralph, is that some of these kids are from economically disadvantaged situations. And their parents are like, get them away from here. Get them away from this environment and everything else. JuCo is disco with books. It is not, even for the coaches that do a really good job there, even for the programs, it is like being in high school. It's an event. You're grown up, so you can do grown up things. But you're in high school, essentially, where there's so much freedom, there's less oversight, there's, like you're more likely to have trouble with the law and the community, all sorts of stuff. It is not where you want your kid to be if a scholarship is available. I can't understand. And they're like, well, it'll be like a Mormon mission. Do you know what Mormon missions are like for these kids? These kids come back safely from Mormon missions.
Yeah, they don't get to watch TV. They don't get to go to concerts. Can you imagine, George? Can you imagine Oregon wanted to house you at a JuCo for 2 years to preserve your eligibility. And so they would have to pay you to do it, right?
Yes.
You would show up at this JuCo with more money than your head coach.
Yeah.
In a campus in the middle of nowhere, filled with a bunch of crash outs. Because like that JuCo is a great financial option for a lot of people who aren't afforded the same options as a lot of people. JuCo is also a place where all the kids who barely graduated high school but did have every means available to them to go to university end up because their parents are like, well, you just got to go do something. Like you be hanging out with.
They go to JuCo for a year or two and then it's over.
But how is a coach going to coach somebody who has more money than them?
Well,
it happens in the NBA. It happens in the NFL, but like.
Bro, you are 100% right about that. And then the other aspect of it is, so now as a parent and as a kid, you're taking a chance. We're going to stash you at JuCo. And I'm supposed to believe the promise that you're going to get me next year or 2 years from now? Do you realize how insanely stupid that is? Coaches leave. Coaches get fired. I'm supposed to depend on you that you'll be here a year from now? Man, BS. BS. Why would I trust you that you're going to be here a year from now?
I wrote an article, this is years ago now, that like the NCAA is missing an opportunity to absorb JuCo, right? To have it be its own thing, essentially, because junior colleges all over America are canceling football because they can't afford the insurance premiums and the headache of having football on campus. So the entire state of Arizona lost JuCo football. And you're talking about like major programs like Arizona Western and Yuma, Scottsdale Community College, Mesa Community College. Mesa Community College, one of the biggest JuCos in the entire country, just gone, right? And so, you know, the NCAA should have stepped in financially to supplement this so that they could continue to absorb talent from the JuCo ranks, help get people academically right, and all of those things. And now you have just a few JuCos left, and it's very funny that people are worried about this thing. Number one, it's just an injunction. So this could be like the Mike Williams, Maurice Clarett thing where they sued to go to the NFL after only 1 year. They were allowed to, and then the decision came back and excluded both Mike Williams and Maurice Clarett from being able to do that. So the NCAA said, all right, we'll buy a year on this. And you are seeing people joke about there being 30-year-old football players. George, there's already several 30-year-old football players in the NCAA.
This is the problem, is that they think that this is going to up the number of incidences.
Yeah, well, Minnesota's punter is 30. Mark Crawford, he is 32 years old. Virginia's kicker this year, Matt Ganyard, is 34. Jordan Noyes at Colorado State, 32 years old. USF, Andrew Stokes, 30. TCU had a 30-year-old last year. Illinois has a 30-year-old punter. Like, there are things, military, out of country, all those things. You know, but the truth of the matter is,
we had an old dude when I was at Oregon. He came from the military. He was like 26 when he got there. He was by far the oldest dude, and you could tell because he had been in the military and he was old.
You got tight bed corners?
Oh, bro, tight everything. And dude, I just don't see this as nearly as big of a problem as they're pretending it is going to be. I do understand how that could happen, but I don't think that people thought through the logistics of it. So who would they want to stick at JuCos? Okay. The players that they're going to try to allegedly stick at JuCos, they're not going to get a 5 or a 4-star kid to go to a JuCo. They're not going to do it because they're going to be like, I'll go somewhere else. And then so then you're like, okay, well, they'll stick 2 and 3-star players there. Not if they have FBS offers and hope. They think it's going to work like holdback years with high school players. It's not the same thing because they're holding back in 8th grade or 6th grade.
And if you're good enough to get on
they're
the
still
field,
with their friends, they're still in a safe environment, they're still all of this stuff. And you think that that's going to, bro, they have lost their damn minds.
If you're good enough to get on the field at 21, you're going to be on the field.
Yep.
You're not going to be down at a JuCo. If you're qualified academically, you're not going to be down at a JuCo if you're good enough to be on the field. Would you rather, let's say somebody came to you and this is like 5 years down the road and they said, we'll give your son $300,000 to spend 1 year at like Long Beach Community College and then commit to us. Or Utah State is like, we'll have him. We got like $100,000 budget for our quarterback this year. We'll take him.
Utah State.
Right.
I don't know what ain't no discussion. I'm not trusting no coach to put me at no damn. And he might like Utah State. Might do well there. And he'll have an opportunity to leave and move up if he wants to, or stay there if he's happy. Get out of here. They lost their damn mind.